banks. Now we've also cut the rebate on these three for the glass to go in. So that's a style. The glass sits in there. There's about 5mm for the rebate. Yeah, and that's around about 15mm. That's pretty much standard for single glaze windows. Right, so the next thing we've got to do is, we've done those two, so what we've got to do is we've got to get this one up to scratch. So, table saw, turn it over, wind it down. Now you'll find lots and lots of people go around measuring everything. Generally, I don't. I measure very little. That's going to be this. We're making a bottom sash. That's going to be the meeting rail. That's got a rebate in it. You can see that. Yeah. That's going to be a style. Yeah. Again, you can see the rebate in there. These are all blanks at the moment. Yeah. And rebate on there. That goes that way. And then this one will go in like that. So now all we need to do is get the right sizes. So we know that the window is 71.5 centimetres. So go over to the saw. Cut the ends off. That's one side. Make sure they match up. Generally, I don't measure, but sometimes you've got to. That tells me that that's there. Save those for blanks. So that's going to be the style. That's going to be the style. Now we need the full width of the window. So I'll just go and measure. The width of the window is 78.5. So what we do is we make it 78 3/4. That way we know the window is going to be tight, but we can always shave a little bit off of the side. That way we know we'll have a perfect fit in. I don't know why I put this board here actually. Nice square edges to start with, and that'll become very apparent in a second. all go together like that. Now what we've got to do, make sure, yeah, that's all right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this together so that we've got the basics of a frame. In order to do that, we need that little jig. This makes life a lot simpler. Keep that there. That's that. Right, now what we're going to do is, as I said, on that and on this, we're going to cut the tenons. Now, there's all sorts of fancy jigs to cut tenons, and you can do it by hand saw and all that sort of thing, but this is the way that I do it. There we've got a little mark, and the reason I do a little mark is to make sure that I've got the right depth. Yeah. So that from there to there is the right depth. You don't need to worry about this piece here. Yeah, that will become apparent in a minute. Yeah. So we know we've got the right depth. And all we do is plug away. You'll notice that lines up with that, so that we know that the tenon is in the centre. Yeah. Any little bits of fluff that are on the outside can all be taken away, but that is already the blank for the top. This is the blank for the bottom. We'll just run it through once again. Why I say we can do things with the basic of tools. Yeah, we know that that's now in the centre. Yeah, so we've got a good size tenon on there. Yeah, now we deal with the styles. Yeah, and to do that, we mark that into the middle. That's it. Mark those so that I know where I am. Yeah. Now, when this goes in there, we can see that that's going to be just very slightly proud of the top. Yeah. So all we've got to do then is widen that out. So that's going to be too narrow because I've still got that little lip on there. If I've got that little lip on there, I know that that isn't going to fit in. Yeah, because it's central. Once that lip disappears, then I know that the saddle joint or the bridle joint is the right size. That's on there like that. That's on there like that. And it could still do with just a little bit. Now, as you can see, it's still just slightly too tight. So we just take it through one tiny bit pass more. There you have the beginnings of the joint. Yeah. This shoulder here has to be taken away. To work out which is the top and which is the bottom. So that goes around like that. That goes around like that. Oops. That goes around like that. That will go around like that. Yeah. So we now know that this is the top. I've got a T on there and a T on there to stop me cutting the wrong ends. Yeah. So we take that off, go back to the saw, and we trim down the side. Notice that has just kissed that edge. So that means that that edge and that edge are now even, so that when we put the thing together the right way round, it's always the right way round, yeah, you'll notice that they sit square. Yeah, it's that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. If it's complicated, I couldn't do it. So we've done the top sash. Now what we've got to the meeting rail joint. Now we wind this up on this particular job to there. Yeah. And we take off the rest of this. You'll notice I'm carrying out the minimum of adjustments so that I know that everything is going to fit. you see that that's just kissed that, so that we know that we've got a proper, we'll have a proper joint. And this is slightly oversized. That would help if we cut that off. Once this is all squeezed up, we will have the outline of a sash. Now, any overhang here gets cut off. Now, as you can see, it's already taking shape. Having got that and got that, we'll take that, which is the top. We transfer those markings over. So, that's it. So those are the markings transferred over. Now put that over to the side. And what we've got to do is we've got to cut the openings. Now, this is a cheat. A lot of what I'm doing are cheats for in the field. Now, but they are immensely strong, which is what it's all about. And in my opinion, it's actually better than the traditional. Oh yeah, I better explain. Right, that's the top of the sash. That's the bottom of the sash. As a glazing bar goes through the middle, yeah, and as you can see, I've marked it out. That's the width of the glazing bar. Yeah, from there to there is the top. The top pane will be the top pane of glass. And from there to there is the bottom pane of glass. And all I do is I set up the miter saw. All I'm going. And you'll see I've barely kissed where the glazing rebate is. And that's all I want to do. That is very, very slightly too tight. That is now perfect. Now, so the glazing bar will go in like that. We've done that one. That was the easy bit. Now, let's put that around the right way. That's better. Right, now what we've got to do is we have to make the glazing bars. So, once again, what, are you back again? Now, to make life safer, what I do is I take them out of long pieces of wood. And you'll see why in a second. So basically, to make a sash window, you need a table saw and a miter saw and a router. Yeah. And that's really it. That's it. So now what we're going to do now is we're going to make glazing bars. Don't worry about all the different names, because you can call it what you want as long as you use the same term all the time. Right.
Make sure the frame's lined up square.
Yeah. So what we do now is we lock it in place with stainless steel screws. These are lost head screws. Tiny, 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 but they hold very, very well. They were originally meant for flooring, but we use them for making the sashes.
Bits here, Jim.
Yeah, I don't need one. Oh, that's good.
You could eat Kentucky Fried tonight.
Kentucky Fried Chicken tonight. Chicken tonight. Chicken tonight. My God, it's square. Who would have thought? Now, because they're stainless steel, they won't rust through as quickly. Traditionally, this was made with wooden pegs, or the modern ones are generally with cross heads. But I like to use these because they are very discreet and they hold everything very firmly together. Again, generally the bottoms were mortised, but that was in the days before decent screws. And I have never had one come back with this system. Now remember, we're not in a joinery shop. This is out in the field.
That's the one side. It's all different when you're out.
Yeah.
There's a huge, big difference in that.
And they're just.
So you're in a workshop.
As I said before, all this has been done with a table saw and a miter saw. You do not need fantastic equipment.
£50,000 machines plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just run it through and it'll push a few buttons, don't they, Jim?
Yeah, that's it.
It all comes out.
Now, what we're going to do is
Barry the glazier in the background,
Yeah.
just glazing up some of the frames.
It's all right. This is going on YouTube, mate. You're going to be an internet sensation.
So what's news, Jim?
If need, we'll pixelate your face out just for security reasons.
Yes. What a good idea. that will go up there. And that will go to there.
All purpose fit.
We're all going to the zoo tomorrow. Zoo tomorrow. Zoo tomorrow.
You're not, are
We're
you?
all going to the zoo tomorrow. We can stay all day. We're going to the zoo. How about you? doesn't matter how many times you do it, always cut it a little bit longer and then trim it down afterwards. Yeah. It's easy to trim it down.
Can't add it on.
It's bloody difficult to add it on.
Jim, you're a man after my own heart.
Yeah.
Especially with glass.
Oh, definitely. Stand still. Yeah. Just take that off a tiny little bit. So they are now locked in place. Now what we've got to do is make the cross members, or the members crossed, whichever way you like it. That's a little bit too short. There. Somewhere there. Push those down a little bit. Push that down a little bit. And you take that across from there to there.
You can't stay all day.
That goes from there, onto there. It's tight. Now we mark that, and that. Now we know we've got a straight line going across. The glazing bars that go down this way make sure that the window can't stretch out, yeah, as well as supporting the bars going across. I always, as much as possible, try to do the shortest distance in one length and the longest distance in short lengths. Yep, that's it. Right, now what we've got to do, if you thought up until now was hairy, now it gets really hairy. We'll use one with a sharp point in it. So, what have you done? Discovered a problem?
Too short.
What?
No, I'll have to get you to it. Somebody can't count.
What, there's 20 bits, isn't there? Sorry?
I done it the other day, so
Alright.
no problem.
Right, so we cut those, and now what we do is we shape that so that everything can join up and everything is supported. So,
We're gonna go down.
on the good ship, lollipop, it's a far cry to the candy shop. Shut up, bloody chicken. You're a yellow belly.
Chicken.
Chick, 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 chicken. My bonnie lies over the ocean. My bonnie lies over the sea. My daddy laid over my mummy. That's how they got little old me. It's raining, it's blowing a gale, and still we soldier on. Bring back, bring one. Bring back, oh bring back. That's it. That's that bound together, that's that bound together.
All together now.
All together now, all together now. Where's the long ones? They're in the bag.
Frame up together. I'll do with the cross pieces.
first bit we do is the middle bit. And the reason we do the middle bit is because it gives added strength to the whole thing. This is actually stronger than traditional joinery. But the purists will be having apoplexy about now, which is like tea and cake. Right, a little bit of glue. Barry's very quiet in the background. He's normally a chatty soul, but today he's decided to be miserable.
He's on. Deep thought, Jim.
Deep thought. Yeah. Deep, 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 deep.
Really? Oh, been away last night. Horrible. Was 11-1 up and lost by 3 points in the end. So, but it was hideous. The wind, the rain, it was absolutely drowned. I was soaked. But anyway, what are you up to now?
Got the wrong bit, Jim.
I knew that. I knew that. I knew that. I was testing you. Yeah.
There is a bit there. I don't know if that's the one. Is it?
Hmm?
Oh no, there it is.
I'll take that one.
Just feed it.
So,
Just throwing in.
Oh, good.
Oh, my fingers. Come on.
Right, okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, will be. All right, okay. No. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, but I've only called like this afternoon. Big out there.
Yeah. That is now nice and strong.
All right. All good.
These two as tight as possible, because these two bind everything together. It's all Barry's fault. Tell the world it's Barry's fault. Can't possibly be wrong.
Tell the world.
I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Grow apple trees and honeybees and whatever else it is. Get in. Come on. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking. Go back where you've been. I told you. And this is the one that locks everything in place. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. You hear me knocking, go back where you've been. Beep, 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 beep. So basically, there you have a very strong sash window, bottom sash. A little bit of glue, a little bit of filler. I hear you knocking, but you keep jumping. I hear you knocking. Okay, so all we're doing is put the profile on. Right. That's the first pass. Then we get out what I always thought was a bloody toy, but it's actually brilliant. Now, this is a corner chisel.
It's a toy.
And I thought it was a toy, but that just taps onto there. Tap, 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 tap. That one needs to go in a bit further. We'll do that on the second pass.
Some of them parting beats.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the more you buy, the cheaper they are.
Yeah.
I said to him, try it before you do it.
Yeah.
Will it still work if the paint is all still round the frame?
Yeah, of course it will.
Yeah, it will. Yeah. Because you take yours right back, don't you?
Yeah. Are you doing it yourself or are you
No,
doing
I'm
it for...
not.
No.
No, he wanted me to help him with it,
Yeah.
and I went, no,
No.
I'm too busy.
On tuck away, did you say?
No, this is a chats were, because what he's doing is, he's got to change the units,
Yeah.
but anything that needs doing to the windows like that. But, you know, as soon as you take that parting bead off, it could split or whatever.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So, I just do it there.
Best thing to do is throw the parting bead away.
Yeah, because you're fighting with it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Change over the double glaze units and put a vertical bar up and
Yeah.
on the unit to make it look like a sash window.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I said, well, you're going to see it inside. I said, well, that's what the guy wants. I said, well, the guy won't like it, even if he does want it.
Yeah.
See that adhesive line? You want to get it that effect. Ooh. Where's Michael on that?
Well, I've got to go back to Hurstman's place.
What, not that to...
To James? No. This is to Ida. She had a window blowout on her. So that's...
Trouble is, Jim, a lot of them have been putting up with these things for years.
Yeah. And all of a sudden it becomes an emergency.
Yeah.
And you, wait a minute, this rot was over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 30 years. Or in Ida's case, I think 40.
I don't know.
Ida.
Right, yeah, Michael. There's your top sash.
Right.
Thank you.
Michael, your top sash. You can weigh it, you can fit it.
You can...
To your left of the...
Alright,
Yes.
alright.
This is a cheat, but it's a very, very effective cheat.
You don't budge.
No.
Know the rules.
I don't budge. Budging is for professionals. And you know what a professional is? It's somebody who accepts all of the credit and none of the blame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
up again.
Oh no, he didn't, did he? Oh, yeah. That one probably needs a little bit more. We'll see that in a second when we do the second pass. Now these are far, far stronger joints than you would normally get with traditional joinery. And you will also get less rot in the corners. Right, having done that, what we do is we go around once again,
You haven't cleaned all the corners out.
taking out all the
High spots.
high spots.
Screw head or
That will,
tip of the screw there.
yeah. We'll clean those up in a second.
Last thing we'll do is catch your outer on that and
Bugger
wrap
up.
a bit.
Bugger up my last blade. Right. Now, if you're making old windows, or if you're making in an old house, the last thing you want is these to be pristine. The reason being is that they will look out of place. You want them clean, solid and nice, but you do not want them looking as if they've just come out of the factory. There you have all the cheats. It's just going to require a little bit of rubbing down, and we have to put on the draft stripping. Right, do you want to rub that down? Oh, where's the other one? Where's that red and white one? Right. Bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. A bit. Up a bit, down a bit, round a bit. That's good. My boomerang won't come back. My boomerang won't come back. I've thrown all over the place. I've thrown till I'm blue in the face. I'm a big disgrace to the Aborigine race. My boomerang won't come back. His boomerang won't come back. Dip, 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 dip. Dip, 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 dip. Ba, 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 ba. I'm a big disgrace to the Aborigine race. My boomerang won't come back. My boomerang won't come back. I've thrown all over the place. That's it. Right.
So it's supposed to be black and white.
Right, there we have it. Right, there you've got the sash cord groove. Yeah, there you have the draft proofing groove in the meeting rail. Yeah, the first one allows the draft proofing to step back, and the other one, the groove up there, holds everything in place. Everything is tight, everything is tough. We are going to get it glazed, and once it's glazed then we'll put the draft proofing on. But basically that's done. A little bit of tarting up, but that's all. Great. Time now is 11:34, so we're doing okay for time. Now it's only Barry holding us up. Right. This is the top sash. It's one of the fixed sashes on the. This is on the left-hand side. You'll notice that there's a channel in the top there. That's to allow the rope to go back and forth. One side is chopped out quite severely, and that's to allow the pulley to pass. The back of the pulley to pass, and that will become apparent in a second. And this is to allow the pulley that's got the sash cord on to not to bind. Yeah, so when I put it in, this bit goes to that side, this bit goes to that side. If you look up there, you can see that the pulley actually sticks out quite a bit. So we because that's the back of this pulley. The rope will come. The weights will be in here through this chamber. They'll go up to the top there, across to there, and if we didn't take that out, what would happen is that the sash wouldn't go all the way up. But now, even though they're swollen, it goes all the way up, and the sash cord can pass over the top of the sash. Okay, can you? That's it. To be continued.